Welcome back, viewers, to the final race of the day here from Daytona Tamworth, where you join us for round 2 of the EKS. In this race, we'll be taking you through Split 1 Race 3, and here is how the grid lines up for this race. So Jamie Tiley-Gooden is starting on pole position ahead of Joe Hamblett, both of them setting magnificent lap times in the previous race, both getting way down into the 55s, and as a result are stunting on the front row of the grid for this one. We've then got Andrew McWilliam starting in 3rd place alongside Richard Lavender, with then Ollie Smith up in 5th place alongside local Chris Phillips. We've then got Fraser Jameson up in 7th place alongside Carlos Amanes, our race winner back in race 1, and then we've got Callum Angelo up in 9th place alongside Luke Doppman on row 5 of the grid. Joseph Simcock is then starting in 11th place with a 56.7 alongside Ryan Sander with a 56.8, and then Jamie Chase is all the way down in 13th place, having started in 2nd in the previous race alongside Adam Thompson on row 7 of the grid. And then we've got 2 junior drivers in Dana Rohan and Archie Bradley on the final row of the grid.
Rolling into turn 1 for the final time of the day here in Tamworth as the sun starts to set on the outside of turn 3. That's where we'll be starting this race. That's where Jamie Tiley-Gooden will look to make it 2 from 3 inside of round 2 of the EKS. It's lights out and away we go, and Jamie Tiley-Gooden does get a good start, but is on the curb on the exit of turn 3. That'll allow Andrew McWilliam to go down the inside into turn 4 and get himself into lead of the race. So good work for Andrew McWilliam straight away, avenging what happened to him in race 2 as Luke Doppman goes around the outside. He started 10th all the way up already into the very high positions as Carlos Amanes on the outside of Richard Lavender can't quite find his way through and now finds himself under a little bit of pressure as well. Richard Lavender back down the inside of Luke Doppman, can't find a way through there either, and Luke Doppman holds on to exactly where he is at this point in the race. He's had such a good start from 10th on the grid as Andrew McWilliam already got multiple kart levels. Luke Doppman up into 3rd. Carlos Amanes down the inside of Richard Lavender, tries to get it down into turn 11 but backs out of the move as he's actually, I believe, got Adam Thompson starting to pressure him. It's either Adam Thompson or Fraser Jameson, the two of them having very, very similar suits. We'll wait to confirm when we get to the timing screen. I can tell you it's Fraser Jameson actually, because Adam Thompson has made a mistake into turn 12. That's taken him out of the equation a little bit. So it's Fraser Jameson putting a lot of pressure on Carlos Amanes, and now we'll look to the inside into turn 4. Can see that from the rear of Carlos's helmet, and now down into turn 4 they go, and Fraser Jameson tries to squeeze his way through, but Carlos Amanes holds firm on the exit of turn 4 and down into turn 5.
Fraser Jameson now on the outside of Carlos Amanes heading turn 6, and now Chris Phillips managed to capitalise on that and make his way through. I think Joseph Simcock as well in the back of shot is managing to make his way through. Fraser Jameson too, as Fraser Jameson's back up the inside. Carlos Amanes meanwhile, he's overtaken Jamie Tiley-Gooden and Luke Doppman. Luke Doppman's overtaken Richard Lavender. So Richard Lavender now, he had overtaken Jamie Tiley-Gooden, now he's being overtaken by both Luke Doppman and Carlos Amanes. So Carlos Amanes now up the inside, going through into the final corner. So this is battling all over the track here. We've got Andrew McWilliam, he's checked out at the front here, and then we've got Luke Doppman, who's done an incredible job here to go from 10th on the grid to 2nd place at the end of lap 2. What a start this is by Luke Doppman as we're running on board now with Jamie Tiley-Gooden. We can see Richard Lavender in front, Jamie Tiley-Gooden looking up the inside, going into turn number 4. Not quite able to make it through there, but he was looking for the move. Now looking through turn number 5, he's up the inside once more, a little bit of contact there, side by side. You can hear Jamie Tiley-Gooden, he's just shouting to himself there with his cam box inside his helmet. Now seeing them from the drone shot, what a shot this is as they file their way through turn number 6. It looks like it is Luke Doppman ahead of Carlos Amanes in 3rd, and then it is Richard Lavender who's settled in 4th place ahead of Jamie Tiley-Gooden. Chris Phillips now all the way up in 6th place, doing a great job here ahead of Fraser Jameson, and then we've got Jamie Chase ahead of Joseph Simcock.
Carlos Amanes down into turn 12, putting that pressure on Luke Doppman. However, right now, Luke Doppman, who's in 2nd position in the race, has set some really, really fast lap times, a tenth of a second faster than Carlos Amanes. Andrew McWilliam, the first round drivers, to squeeze into the 55s, and as they cross the line, it is virtually even between Carlos Amanes and Luke Doppman. Takes them out of the equation for the battle together for now. Jamie Tiley-Gooden still keeping an eye on Richard Lavender, but as you can hear in his helmet, he is very, very frustrated. Can't find a way through just yet. And with 8 minutes to go in this race, actually, it looks like the field relatively spread for Split 1 standards. Carlos Amanes still sizing up Luke Doppman, though, and I think realistically that's the next battle that we're going to keep an eye on. As I saw in the drone shot, Jamie Chase looking at the move on Ollie Smith. I think Ollie Smith is just able to hold on to the position, though.
Yeah, I think it's Ollie Smith there. I think he just got the move actually off of Jamie Chase there as we see them reappear again into the drone shot. So yeah, it was Ollie Smith who went up the inside and got 9th place off of Jamie Chase. Jamie's now got Joe Hamblett behind it. Joe Hamblett got really unlucky at the start. They started in its 2nd position, but just kind of got shuffled wide coming out of turn 4. No one's fault in particular, just a whole gaggle of carts all together at once. So Joe Hamblett is now down to 10th place as we now see them all shooting past the static camera. It looks like Joe Hamblett actually has managed to make his way past Ollie Smith just out of shot as we now head down into turn number 4. Ollie Smith, you can see in the distance there, he's up the inside of Joe Hamblett, so he's got him straight back here, and he's on the inside of Jamie Chase too. Now side by side coming out turn number 4, going into turn number 5. Ollie Smith still on the outside of Jamie Chase in his battle for 9th position. You've got Joe Hamblett now, he's on the inside of Ollie Smith as they head down into turn 6. Ollie Smith back up the inside of Jamie Chase. What a battle this is, battling out for 9th place side by side now, heading down to turn number 2. Joe Hamblett, he's up the inside of Ollie Smith. These three, they are scrapping out here for 9th place. See him just coming back into shot here. Looks like Joe Hamblett has managed to make his way back past Ollie Smith. So it looks at one point like Ollie was going to get past the both of them there, and he ended up back behind the 2 of them. As we see now in the distance, look at that lead that Andrew William has pulled out on Luke Dobbin. You can see it now from the static camera. What a gap. He's always the entire straight ahead of Luke Dobbin. You've got Carlos Amalis followed by Richard Lavender, and then you've got James Tiley-Gooden followed by Chris Phillips. You've got Joseph Simcock, then you've got Fraser Jameson at the front of this pack with Jamie Chase, Joe Hamblett, Ollie Smith, Ryan Saddle, and then Dana Rohan, and then we've got Callum Mendelow in 14th place ahead of Archie Bradley, with then Adam Thompson rounding out the field in 16th place. As we now ride on board with Adam Thompson, and had a really good round last time out at Sandown Park. Finished in 5th out of 23 drivers, but for one reason or another, just things haven't quite come together for him today at Tamworth, as he is in 16th place with Archie Bradley up ahead. And we ride back on board now with Carlos Amanis.
Attacking Luke Dobman then, and down into turn 10. You know Carlos is so aggressive with his moves, and I'm sure he'll seize any opportunity that he gets into turn 11. There you go, Luke Dobman leaves the gap open into turn 12, and Carlos Almanis gets very late on the brakes, squeezes through, says actually my bad, I made a bit of a bump there, and lets Luke back through. That's good sportsmanship, exactly what we want to see in the EKS. The downside for Carlos Almanis is that it's allowed Luke Dobman to gain a couple of kart lengths on him, so it's slightly counterproductive, but it's good to see someone admitting that they've slightly gone a little bit too hot on the brakes. Jamie Tiley-Gooden catching up to Richard Lavender once again into turn 4, and maybe wants to try and put the pressure on into turn 5. Takes the slightly middle of the track line there into turn 5. They want to be right on the outside of the course. Jamie Tiley-Gooden though knows that Richard Lavender, very difficult customer to try and get past, and he's proven that so far all the way throughout this race, and I think he's going to be proving that once again.
Yeah, Richard Lavender doing fantastic, like you say, once more, using his hand controls. He is 3rd in the senior class behind Carlos, or sorry, 4th in the senior class behind Carlos, and Andrew William just out of shot. He is miles out in the lead, doing a fantastic job here, setting consistent high 55-second lap times. For context, Andrew has the lap record at an unweighted 55 kilos, and that is a 54.3. So Andrew racing here at 80 kilos today, doing a really good job setting consistent 55-second lap times. We're riding on board here. Carlos Amalis still right behind Luke Dobbin. Made that move, like you say, a couple of laps ago into the final corner. Made a little bit of contact though, and he waved Luke back past in a very sportsman-like manner. That's like what we like to see here in the EKS. Is heavily encouraged that drivers behave like that. And Carlos now, he is still trying to keep up and still trying to find a way past Luke Dobbin. We've got James Tiley-Gooden as well, right behind Richard Lavender. So James Tiley-Gooden, he's a leading junior driver in this race. So he's 1st in juniors and 5th on the road. He has got Chris Phillips behind him out of shot, and like you say, he's got Richard Lavender in front of him. So can he try to reel Richard Lavender in?
You do forget how good Andrew McWilliam is around this circuit. I do like to remind people that I beat him last time I raced him. He may have got a black flag and a spin, but still, I'll take any win I can get. But he's fantastic around here, and after all that bad luck in race 2, in race 3 here, he is absolutely dominating. Carlos Almanis, though, all over the back of Luke Dobman. Down into turn 5 they go. Luke has got a couple of kart lengths on him once more, and Carlos, well, he's being patient. I'll give him that. He's being very patient. Knows that this move, he's got plenty of time to make it. Lapping under a minute here. He's creeping in on the 55s himself. But Luke Dobman also knows that it's not too long to defend, especially around this track where defending is easy, but if you know what you're doing, it can be quite straightforward. Carlos Almanis then into turn 10, experimenting with those lines, but again, isn't able to really put any pressure on Luke Dobman, and he knows better than to dive down the inside into turn 12 once more. Here he gets the run though.
Luke Dobman, like you say, he's a regular here at Tamworth, races mainly in the endurance championships in the 6 hour and the 3 hour endurance races for Gold Star Racing. Carlos Jimenez, meanwhile, is a regular here in the EKS, someone who I've known a long time through our mutual association with Buckwall Park, and Carlos, he's always been a very, very, very quick driver indeed. So these two, they are, like you say, battling for second position, as we just can see there on the stack shot. You can see everyone going through shot at the tail end of the field here, but Adam Thompson. Adam, he's a regular in the Rugby Kart League at Wilton Mill, and he's also regular here in the EKS. He'll be doing every single round without foul here this season. He's also teammates with Hugh Morrison for Podium Racing. It's Carlos Jimenez now. He's up the inside of Luke Dobman, so I think Luke Dobman made a bit of a mistake there going through turn number 9, got a little bit of oversteer, went wide, and Carlos managed to put his nose up the inside, but Luke Dobman has managed to regain second position. So Carlos momentarily got alongside, but Luke Dobman is ahead. Now Carlos Jimenez looking to get up the inside into turn number 1, not quite enough. Exit speed to make that move work, but these two, they are scrapping it out for position as we are riding on board now with Richard Lavender. You can see these guys are not far ahead. So Richard Lavender, he is reeling them in. Could this become a 3 or maybe even 4-way fight for second place here? I think it may be a 3-way fight at best. As Carlos Jimenez now is looking up his inside of Luke Dobman, going through turn number 5. Can he hold it around the outside through turn number 6? Not quite able to make it work. Now getting the cutback on the run down to turn 7. He's on the outside though for turn 7, and it's an off-camber corner 2. So not quite ideal position there for Carlos. Now still looking all over the back of Luke Dobman. Could have potentially gone for the move then into turn 9, but thought better of it. But he's going to get the move done here instead into turn. He's alongside still, trying to get the exit speed, not quite able to get the exit though, taking the tighter line. So his cart bogs down a bit, but we can see, looking behind from Carlos Jimenez, Richard Lavender, he is right there. So this has indeed become a 3-way battle then for second position as we enter what I believe is going to be the penultimate lap of the race. So can Richard Lavender here get himself onto the podium?
We'll have to wait and see as they go down into turn 4. Looks to the inside of Carlos Armanis. He's going to have one more lap to get the job done when we get to the line. Andrew William has checked out, by the way. He is miles in the lead of this race. I believe it stands at about 10 seconds or so at the moment. It's been an unbelievable drive in very tricky circumstances. Carlos Armanis still got a few chances to try and get past Luke Dobman, but Luke Dobman right now is well and truly comfortable where he is. Richard Lavender, he's stalking at the back of this pack, trying to find some way through, if at all possible. We'll be heading into the final lap of the race, and I think it will be blockbuster between these 3 drivers as Carlos gets the exit better than at Luke Dobman, and down into turn 1 for the penultimate time in this race. They get ready to head to the timing line. Carlos Armanis, just a couple more opportunities to try and get through on Luke Dobman. Through turn 3 they go, fastest corner on the track, as we've mentioned so many times before, when Luke Dobman has a few kart levers. Carlos closing up on the brakes onto the curb, trying desperately to inch that pace out of the kart as he's onto the curb on the inside of turn 5 as well. But Luke Dobman is confident. He's driving slightly defensive lines, making sure that door is not left open for Carlos Armanis, but we'll wait and see if there is a way through. Carlos undoubtedly going to try and find it as down into turn 9 they go. Carlos still not able to get into distance where he can start to make a dive bomb. He might think about it into turn 10, takes a wider line instead, setting himself up for an exit down into turn 11. He gets an overspeed on Luke Dobman down into turn 12. He's made this move before today. There's a little bit of contact between the two of them, but he had to go for the dive. He had to make the move, and Carlos Armanis for now has got himself ahead of Luke Dobman, but Luke is back on the inside line. They'll be drag racing all the way up into turn 3. Luke Dobman on the inside line, just about with a drag race to the line, gets himself ahead of Carlos Armanis. An absolutely fantastic battle for second position in the race, and it could not have got much closer than that. We can conclude a fantastic day of racing then with a dominant drive from Andrew McWilliam after all of his bad luck in race 2. Makes a statement victory at his local track here in race 3. 55.5 is no lap time to sniff at. A fantastic drive from Andrew, 11.2 seconds ahead of your second place runner Luke Dobman, who actually had a drag race to the line with Carlos Armanis, just about getting ahead. Richard Lavender continues his good round in 4th position. Jamie Tiley-Gooden winning the junior class and making up the rest of your top 5. Chris Phillips is in 6th position with the Connecticut Racing duo of Joseph Simcock and Jamie Sherman-Chase 7th and 8th. Ollie Smith and Fraser Jameson making up the rest of your top 10. Joe Hamblett is Andrew McWilliams' MHW teammate. He finishes in 11th position with Ryan Sandel in 12th. Dana Rohan for the Connecticut Racing Junior team is in 13th, with Callum Bengelow in 14th for Red Monster Racing. Archie Prattley is in 15th, with Adam Thompson rounding out your grid in 16th position. For the second time today, we're here with Carlos Almanis. I haven't got the results in front of me, but you may have done enough to squeeze around win in there. Couldn't quite get past Luke Dubman at the end though, a fantastic drag race.
Well, he had the top end I could not match. I come out last corner, slipstreaming him, and he opens up kart lens. I was getting him in last section of the track through corners. It was a good race. A few times I tried to get there, tried to agitate him, put the pressure on, looking for him to make a mistake with false moves, or attempted moves, but he drove so well, well deserved. I think it was best part of the foot across the line.
Yeah, it was really, really close, and obviously just into turn one, not quite able to make that move. But Tamworth, a difficult track to overtake on, isn't it?
Ooh. I don't think it's difficult. There's so many different lines can be driven, like entrance in turn 4. That's a good overtake spot. You do always make a compromise. It's overtaking somewhere, so it's just making it stick, making sure you have a quick, better exit, a guy in front of you. So for second visit here, I'm pretty pleased. What is it, P1, P4, and P2, P3? Andrew doesn't count, does he?
Yeah. Well, it was a good race. Thank you, Carlos, for joining us.
Thank you.
Here with Luke Dodman. It's been a really good run for you. You always seem to turn up for 1 or 2 rounds of the season and manage to get yourself some fantastic drive into second. I mean, what's the secret?
Well, just keep pushing and see what happens, really. I mean, you sort of got to just take your time. Everyone can sort themselves out, and you just pick through the gaps and just go for any gap you can, really.
And just how did you manage to squeeze ahead of Carlos at the end there? That was really close.
Oh, it was a bad run up the hairpin, but with the tighter line, he just come across, and I was able to just out drag him to the line. It was very close. Bit of rub into the line, I think, but that's part of racing.
Joined now by Chris Phillips. Chris, you've had a pretty entertaining one here at Tamworth, your home track, so must be enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been a decent day, I'd say. I'm not as good as expected, but the last race, well, the first couple of races a bit bullied around, so that's right, just got my elbows out a bit and made some places.
And fifth in class, I should say. Not a bad result at all. How do you think you can take that step up to the podium?
Yeah, I think it's more, for me, it's more consistency. I know I can do a quick lap, but it's just doing consistent laps, and then in wheel-to-wheel racing, just need to know when to be a bit more aggressive in overtakes, but that will come during the year. But overall, not too bad a day. Yeah.
Here then are the senior overall results at the end of today's racing. So Carlos Almanis ended up taking the overall victory, only 1 point ahead of our reigning champion Andrew Bullion, and then Richard Lavender rounded out the podium to finish in 3rd. Luke Dodman then came home in P4 in the overall results ahead of Joe Hamblett, and then you got Jamie Chase up in 6th place ahead of Jamie Handyside, who dominated Split 2 and as a result took 40 points home from every race and finishes 7th in the overall results. Chris Phillips then came home in 8th ahead of Ollie Smith, who had a tiebreaker with Fraser Jameson and ended up coming out on top by only 1/10 of a second through having a faster lap time. And then we've got Ryan Sandel, Joseph Stephen-Cock and Luke Nick all tied on 111 points, with Ryan coming out on top due to having a faster lap time. Callum Bengelow comes home then in 14th place ahead of our top heavyweight driver Chris O'Connell, who is there on the podium and gets the trophy himself. He's then ahead of Adam Thompson and James Browning, and then we've got Hugh Morrington up in 18th place ahead of another heavyweight driver in Andy Laister. We then got Chrissy Harding in 20th ahead of Ross Sandwell, with Miles Harding in 22nd and Yachi Lowe rounding out the field on 79 points in 23rd. Championship points are now given out based on where you finished in the overall results as opposed to where you finished in each race, and Carlos Almanis is now leading the championship by 12 points ahead of Ryan Sandel, and then we've got Jamie Chase and Ollie Smith right behind Ryan in 3rd and 4th. Chris Phillips is then up in 5th place ahead of Joseph Simcock, and we've got Callum Bengelow in 7th, Adam Thompson in 8th, we've got Luke Nick in 9th, and then Ross Sandwell in 10th. The new age restrictions for this year have taken a heavy impact on the Junior Championship, especially for this round, with almost every junior driver ruled ineligible for this round. But Jamie Tiley-Gooden was eligible and ended up coming out on top, finishing as top junior in every race, and he came out on top ahead of Dana Rohan and then Archie Prattley in 3rd. In the team championship, meanwhile, Open Throttle have taken the championship lead off of Red Monster Racing and are now leading the team championship by 6 points ahead of the Connecticut Racing Junior team, whose sister adult team are then 6 points further behind in third. Red Monster Racing are only 12 points off the top still in fourth place ahead of Podium Racing. Then we've got Crawley Seekers in sixth. We've got the new MHW Racing team of Andrew McWilliam and Joe Hamblett in seventh. And we've got Odd Squad Racing up in eighth ahead of Team 22 Racing, who will be doing the full season this year, just couldn't make this round. They're in ninth at the moment ahead of ADX Racing.